Well, I'll grant IP and rats that mind exists and that substance dualism is false, but their sins are manifest in their assertion that the properties of mind are those that matter cannot have.
Oh, Gary!
Hi. That is, there's no possible situation wherein X is mental, whilst X is also physical.
But that's false, because such a situation is possible.
So let's see your possible situation.
Mental states are complex and multiply realized, but essentially physical, functional states. Then it's quite possible for both mental and physical properties to be truthfully attributed to them.
So functional states of matter are conscious, you say? I believe this refers to functionalism, wherein the mind is treated as a process of some kind. Of course, I'm not even certain what such a statement means. It sounds very much like the title of Stephen Colbert's book, I'm a process and so can you. Or, I'm America, or whatever. Surely Gary is not identifying himself with a verb, is he? Of course, I'm not certain how three verbs strung together can be said to comprise a meaningful sentence. However, assuming the mind is in fact just a process, this fails to explain how it could contain any actual knowledge beyond that of hollow syntax. Of course, this is not a problem for Gary, who in previous videos has suggested that he does not know the contents of his own mind. But I think the rest of us understand that meaningful thought contains actual semantics as well. But never mind that. I am curious to see how Gary ties a mental property to a physical one.
My belief that it's raining, for instance, is mental in that it does the job of a subjective probability regarding the weather. But statements about the various and varied physical properties upon which completion of that job depends, such as those of my sensory organs, brain and motor systems, can also be truthfully attributed to it.
Of course, the astute idealist will immediately recognize that Gary fails to establish that the sense organs, brain and motor systems are physical to begin with. In fact, given the falsity of dualism, it can be argued that such things must be immaterial if any of the a priori arguments for the immateriality of the mind hold. But even if I grant that such things are physical, Gary provides no argument as to how such things are identical to the mind. Causation, after all, is not identity. To demonstrate his claim that his introspection is in fact identical to neural processes, he must first conceptually relate introspection to those neural processes. Needless to say, this task is well nigh impossible for any materialist who also wishes to assert the strict mind independence of matter. Furthermore, this is demonstrably false. Otherwise, one won't be able to do neuroscience through pure introspection. Even more fair-minded atheists such as Sam Harris would not dare to suggest that. But that is a problem I leave Gary to solve.
There's nothing about introspection that leads you to sense that your subjectivity is at all dependent or even related to voltage changes and chemical interactions going on inside your head. Okay, you can feel, you can drop acid, you can meditate for a year, you can do whatever you want to perturb your nervous system. You can feel yourself to be one with the universe, and at no point in that transformation do you get a glimpse that there's 100 trillion neurons in your head, or synapses in your head that are doing anything.
Oh, and one last thing.
Why they're so fond of name-dropping, no mention of eminent philosophers like Dan Dennett or Paul and Patricia Churchland, who would raise more or less the same counterexample as I have.
Could it be that rats and IP are arrogantly pontificating about things they don't understand?
Despite my limited formal training as a philosophy minor, I am not arrogantly pontificating on things I do not understand. I, unlike Gary, know that I am self-aware of my own self-awareness, and am thus the world's foremost expert on my own mind. But maybe I'm wrong. After all, I think my mind actually exists, in contrast to the claims of certain mindless zombies who Gary appears to have confused for eminent philosophers. But I will leave that discussion for another time.
Either way, they'd be very naughty boys.
You've been a very bad girl. A very, very bad girl, Gaga. Stop!
Good day. If you liked this video, subscribe, and don't forget to check out my novel, Alaris, The Lances of Light, on Amazon Kindle in the description below. Now you can find us on Facebook at Idealism and Science vs. Atheism. This mind is the matrix of all matter.